So we're going to talk about Ian Garry's bizarre story. We know that he copies every single move that Conor McGregor does. He's predicting the outcome of his upcoming fight with Geoff Neal, and he's doing it in a really bizarre way. And wouldn't you know, his wife is sitting off camera laughing and coaxing him on. We're going to talk a little bit about Molly McCann and her performance on the weekend and the coverage she's getting in the aftermath of that, as well as the $50,000 bonus. Very interesting times. We're going to talk about Israel Adesanya versus Khamzat Chimaev. We have some new footage coming out of Israel Adesanya that definitely tells us that he's on his way back, and that he's wrestling, and that he's taking the back of some more men. So that's very interesting. Before we get into that, if you could hit like, subscribe and share, I'd really appreciate that one. Khamzat Chimaev couldn't stop laughing at Israel Adesanya's upgraded game plan for UFC Return. Very interesting story. We know that Israel's coming back. We don't know whether it's going to be UFC 300 versus Dricus du Plessis, or whether he's going to come back and have this mega fight out in Africa. Any one of them will be interesting enough, as we talked about before, but maybe it'll be Khamzat Chimaev. We don't know. What we do know is that Israel Adesanya shows improved wrestling in his new training video. Khamzat Chimaev finds that hysterical. He bombarded it with a bunch of laughing emojis. Let's have a little look at this footage.
One more.
So there you have it. There's not really much in it. There's a lot of Israel Adesanya taking the back and getting up on top of these male fighters. As we talked about earlier, he does like that sort of scenario. He is performing extremely well when he's on top, when he's behind, especially if it's a dog or something like that. So Israel Adesanya puts out this footage and Khamzat Chimaev just destroys it. Like, he comes right in underneath with a bunch of laughing emojis. And if we read the article, it talks about the best striker to ever enter the octagon, Israel Adesanya, is improving an already solid ground game and an already solid takedown defense. And to be honest with you, the takedown defense isn't bad. You know, he's done well at times. Obviously, when he moved up in weight, Jan Blachowicz mauled him, broke him up. That was fine. Since then, he kind of just ran around the outside of the octagon and didn't really engage with people that wanted to wrestle. So yeah, I'd like to see that fight with Khamzat Chimaev. Maybe that's the fight, the tune-up fight for him before he goes in and fights Dricus du Plessis. That'd be an interesting fight for UFC 300. I'd get on board with that one as well. I think that if Israel Adesanya could make it past the first round, then he could possibly win that fight. We'd have to see how it goes. And I guess the takeaway from the whole thing is, it doesn't really matter the opponent. It doesn't really matter how good your takedown defense is or isn't. If Israel Adesanya has the chance, he will slide in behind any male fighter and take their back, and he'll enjoy it. Let's jump over here to the Molly McCann stuff. UFC Vegas 85 post-fight bonuses. Molly McCann, Randy Brown each get $50,000 for their finishes.
What the fuck is this?
And I saw this, and I saw the Molly McCann fight, and I don't want to be too harsh because, as she said in her own words, she had a 14-month tirade of haters and trolls coming after her. And they were all in the wrong, and she was just trying to fulfill her dream, and these disgusting people came after her and tried to ruin it, but she came back and she proved them wrong. And I watched the fight, and I saw her come out, and the hands were behind the back, and she was fighting the urge to like wave her hands and jump around like a lunatic like she does normally. She was fighting it off. I think it was completely different to what Paddy Pimblett did. We could see that Paddy was focused. We could see that something had shifted. Whether it was premeditated or just organic, we don't know. But with Molly, we could see that it was 100% premeditated. She was fighting the urge to dance. She was fighting the urge to do the stupid face. She was fighting all these urges, and she was building it up into this monumental Hallmark Channel movie where someone returned and reconciled with her people and rejuvenated her career. And she thought she was having this Tyson Fury moment. You remember when he went on that wild media tour talking about his depression, talking about how bad things were and how he changed his life by praying to God. I guess Molly thought that she was trying to emulate that on the weekend, and she spoke like she had read too many philosophical quotes like on Google or something like that, and it just came across as fake. And the media, as predicted, came in with thunderous applause for Molly's performance. To be honest with you, the performance was a female performance, sloppy, a little bit all over the place. She was happy that she got the win, fine, but don't force us to watch it, and don't force us to enjoy it, and don't force us not to give our opinions on it by blackmailing us with the help of the media and using words like hate and troll and all this type of stuff. It's not fair. The same way getting 50,000 euros for that performance slash finish wasn't fair. I can think of at least 3 people that were on that card that deserved that money and deserved that bonus a lot more than Molly McCann. Isn't Molly McCann tied in with Barstool Sports cuck? Isn't she getting Rolex watches off Drake, this rapper dude, and she needs 50,000? She's got her own TV show in England. I don't know, are we supposed to feel sorry for Molly in the last couple of weeks or something? Fair play to you, off you go. I don't want to see you again for another 6 or 8 months. It's intolerable. A $50,000 bonus for that? Okay, cool, I guess I'm a troll and a hater. Let's jump over here to Ian Garry shares bizarre prediction of UFC 298 finish against Geoff Neal. Mystic Machado Garry, cringe, is back with another prediction on how he'll win February 17th. This one, for the lack of a better descriptor, is kind of crappy. Ian Machado Garry is back with another unique prediction for how he'll win at UFC 298. But we think that he may take this one back to the workshop for a little fine-tuning before this week. The future has lifted several elements of shtick from Conor McGregor. One of them being Mystic Mac's pre-fight prophecies on how a fight will end. Fair enough. Everybody loves watching someone call their shot and try to hit it, although Gary's latest prediction on his UFC 298 bout against Geoff Neal is just strange. And I'm not even going to read it, I'm just going to play it.
What am I going to finish him with? I'm going to make him quit. He'll choose when he's done. I'd like to fucking kick him to the body and have him do that, like when the dog's shitting. Look when the dogs look at you, like when they're pooing, for protection. That's what they do, right? Dogs look at their owners when they're pooing, because that's when they're vulnerable for attack, right? There's me.
Do the face again.
Something like that.
What? What? This article, like, what are you supposed to say to that? What are you supposed to say to the voice in the background laughing, going, do the face again? What are you achieving PR-wise by making him do that face again? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. People hate you. You're the most hated guy in the UFC. And you just keep adding to it. It goes on to say here that if he beats Geoff Neal, then maybe he can convince former middleweight champion Sean Strickland to fight. Garry and Strickland have beef after Strickland kicked off a social media storm targeting Gary's wife. We don't need to rehash everything, Tarzan said, but her perpetual presence has some fans wondering whether she's the puppet master behind a lot of his pre-fight antics. Not that the Machado Garry family hides this. They released footage that showed her helping Garry make a controversial Geoff Neal mugshot. In his latest strange Instagram video, you can hear her laughing in the background at her husband's dog poop joke. Listen, fair play to this article for at least trying to point out something that everybody knows. Don't come after people and start banging on about, you can't talk about people's wives, man. Name one other UFC fighter on the roster right now. Please, somebody name one other fighter whose wife is so involved in their career. Like, just give me somebody. And every single time somebody mentions Ian Garry's wife, you're a hater, you're a troll. Leave family out of it, bro. I don't know. This guy never learns. He saw Paddy Pimblett come back, do a great job at rejuvenating his career. I have to say, Paddy Pimblett did it the right way. Molly came back and attempted to do it, but couldn't hold back the urge to dance and throw her hands around. It was uncomfortable. We knew it was fake. And guess what? She got 50 grand off the UFC for doing that. You're all supposed to like her. Shut up, haters. We're going to give her $50,000. And Ian Garry is still being promoted as an up-and-coming welterweight prospect who is very like Conor McGregor. He even calls fights the way Conor does. He walks like Conor. He talks like Conor. Cringe. Let me know your thoughts down below.